Welcome back. Each night at this time, we'll have an unfiltered panel to discuss solutions to the problems plaguing our country. As we mentioned at the top of the show, a new report from the Department of Homeland Security shows that nearly 530,000 illegal aliens overstayed their temporary visas in 2015, and 480,000 of them remain in the U.S. as we speak. So, how many illegal aliens are there? But more importantly, what should we do with them all? Here to discuss solutions are host of the Wilkow Majority, Andrew Wilkow, political science professor, Dr. Jeannie Zaino, and Newsmax TV contributor and raging liberal, Rick Unger. Okay, so Mr. Wilkow, you know I want to see every single last one of them and Rick deported.
Me too. I have to go. Yeah.
Well, what's the firewall of citizenship? What is a border if you are not enforcing it? I mean, we're seeing what's happening in Europe. The idea that anybody can come to a country without being vetted, without going through any process. I don't understand what the future of this holds, because you cannot have a welfare state and an open border coinciding.
Jeannie?
Well, you said you wanted them all deported, and you may want that, but the fact is, doing it and implementing it is going to be incredibly difficult. So how exactly would you deport the 11.3 million people here? And what would the cost to the U.S. economy be? It is enormous. So we may all want a lot of things, but actually doing them is going to prove very, very difficult and costly for the United States. So it is not a good idea. And everybody knows behind the scenes it's not going to be done. Do you know how many people you'd have to deport to do it? You'd have to deport about 600,000 people a month for 2 years at a cost of $600 billion?
All right, so wait. So let's table that for a second.
You're making me table it?
What is your solution? What do we do with the 20 million plus illegal aliens that are here right now in this country?
Well, I do agree with you on what you said. The fact that we don't know the number is really problematic, because we hear between 11
Let's pretend,
to 20.
Jeannie, you sound like Hillary right now. What I need you to do, what I need you to do is just let's pretend that there's 20 million, because it's probably more like 30 million. What is the solution with these people?
You have to give them some kind of legal status, and you have to create some kind of pathway for some of them to gain citizenship. And listen, before he makes more faces, listen, this is exactly what Republicans in Congress wanted to do in 2014 under Paul Ryan, and would have got done if it hadn't been for several things that occurred in June. I'm
Go
right.
ahead, Rick, go ahead. Why don't you put the icing on her cake?
No, you know what?
Go ahead.
You've got a two-part problem here, and we don't look at it
I've
this
got
way.
two of you.
Well, there's that. But in addition to that, in immigration, you have the problem of how you're keeping people who have not come into the country properly. How do you keep them from coming in? That's problem one. Problem two is, what are you going to do with people who are already here?
I know the problems. I just want to hear your solution.
Stop
talking like a Democrat.
Let me tell you what isn't going to work and why you have to do it differently. This whole wall thing, if you want to build a wall where we have...
Stop it!
Hold on.
I want solutions. People want solutions. This kind of stuff I could hear on Fox News, CNN, and everybody else.
You're not going to hear this on Fox News.
What do I do with the 11 million people? Just tell me what it is.
Well,
You're supposed to say there's not 11 million people. It's 20 million.
I don't really care how many.
What are we doing?
You want to forget about them coming in? You want to
I just want to know what I'm doing with the people
Easy.
here. Donald Trump says
you
he's deporting them all.
prioritize. You begin by allowing, you recognize what Jeannie said, which is you can't throw them all out. It's not real life. So what do? You prioritize. The first thing you do is you look for people who had children born here, who have lived here their whole life, know no other country, and you realize you cannot throw them out and send them back to a country that isn't their country. So as long as they don't have a police record, they are not criminals, they are working for a living.
They all came here
well, unfortunately, they're not. Yeah. So you've got that. Those kids that were born here are not criminals. They didn't come here illegally. They didn't do anything. You have to have an intent to be a criminal.
So the first thing you want to do is
it's called mens rea.
First thing you want to do is cut out the kids. That's the first thing you want to do.
I want to protect the kids as long as they deserve protection.
We don't have 6 hours on this show.
The second thing you do is you look at situations like Nashville, where they found out that by treating immigrants as members of their illegal immigrants as members of their society, it actually boosted their economy. An unusual percentage of illegal immigrants ended up starting businesses. Doesn't happen everywhere, I will admit that, but it happened in. If you want,
I'm just waiting.
No, wait, we can't go to those. No. I know what the information is. The information is you just told me that Tennessee is allowing illegal aliens to start businesses.
I didn't tell you way that I
start
can tell you,
businesses.
go look up the details, because you'll find that Nashville in the past 20 years has experienced massive growth.
Hit it. I know you want to.
because of illegals. Well, I know facts are troubling to you guys.
Go ahead.
No,
Wait,
no, hold on.
wait.
I've
and that
never
is
heard of
a
a
fact.
law. I've never heard of a law that the only way to enforce is if you don't get everyone at once, you don't enforce it. Like, hey, it's Friday night. If we can't get every drunk driver in America,
I'm not
we're
saying
not
you
gonna-
shouldn't
no,
enforce it.
this thing about it, we have to deport 600,000. Law is enforced on a case-by-case basis. You find someone who's in the country illegally, you deport them. There's no
Hey, Andrew, let
obligation.
me ask
Wait,
you a
hold on.
question.
This is my turn. We're not going to get everybody all at once. You first cut off eligibility for welfare benefits and any other taxpayer-funded services. I don't care about whether or not they're working or whether or not they're contributing. They're not contributing as much as they're taking. And they're taking in an illegal fashion. All illegal immigrants are doing something illegal. If you break our laws, how many do we throw tax evaders in jail?
We throw taxpayers
throw tax
in jail
evaders
if we prove
Do
they're tax evaders.
Well, okay, but so we enforce the law on the citizen,
And by
then
the way,
look,
if they are
and look
intentional
for,
tax
we look for
evaders.
free passes for the non-citizen. If that's what we're going to do, then the non-citizen is getting a more premium treatment from the federal
so now let
government
me ask
than
you
the
my
actual
question.
Wait.
citizen.
Let's hold off for 1 second. First thing he says to do is to cut off the welfare.
Illegal immigrants do not get
they
welfare
really don't.
because
If
they
one
are
person is
here.
legal in the household,
Excuse me,
they can
because
qualify the whole family.
because
Yes.
they are here illegally, they do not qualify and do not get them.
They
So
can't sign
that
up
is
for
not
welfare.
a
That's
problem.
just another
You are
one of
making
these-
up problems
No,
that
if one
don't
person
exist.
is legal, or they go to the hospital, their kids are going to public schools where they're not paying
But
the
those
taxes.
kids are
Jeannie,
kids. You're actually going to hold kids responsible
Jeannie.
who came here.
How much should the
under-
American taxpayer we have to pay for our
Why-
own
so
problems,
what-
our
so
own
what-
poor, our
Hold
own
on,
education?
hold on,
Now
hold on.
let's
Let's keep this.
Address Jeannie's question. Should you separate illegal parents who come over from kids who were born
And what
here and
kind
have
of
done nothing
conservatives
wrong?
are you?
Why should I
These
have
are
to fund?
families.
Why should I pay public
I'm
school
with
taxes
Christ on
to
this
send
one.
my to send?
With who?
Christ.
She's right.
You should be
Funny
generous
liberals only
and
bring up
compassionate.
Jesus when it's
She always brings up
convenient.
Jesus. Yeah.
I'm
Other
really
than that,
not
they're going to
that
throw
liberal.
Jesus and
I never
every
bring
Christian
it up.
under the bus. Wait, let's go back. Let's orderly, because it's not good television screaming.
I know.
All right. Okay. Question.
Yes.
When I go into my local IGA, that's where we buy our food, okay? I am continuously seeing illegal aliens pulling out EBT cards.
How do you know they're
people-
illegal?
You know why? I'm going to guess the fact that they cannot say hello, my name is whatever in English.
I had a
That's the first
housekeeper who was
indication.
completely legal.
You're not
and
allowed
couldn't
in this
speak English.
country legally
Excuse
unless you
me.
could demonstrate
That's
to
not
right.
true.
It is too true.
Let me tell you something.
It is too
I
true.
have my son's father-in-law, one of the wealthiest dairy farmers in Mid-Valley, California, obviously legal, owns more property than you and I are ever going to see, and he can barely speak a word of English.
Okay, so then you
Yeah,
know what?
but I'm not
How
paying
did
him
he get in
benefits.
here?
I don't
Because
care.
you're
That's
not
the point he
allowed.
said.
You're not allowed
He
into
knows
this
that if
country.
they look Mexican,
Dude,
they're
can we
illegal.
stop talking about
Oh,
Mexicans? There
stop
are
it.
illegals here from
Stop it.
France,
Stop
Germany,
it.
And what
Canada.
about-
You want to know
Luxembourg.
why I know they're illegal? You want to know why I know they're illegal? Because where I live, it costs a couple of bucks. And I'm telling you right now, nobody,
illegals don't have
nobody, excuse me, nobody can live where I live cutting lawns. You cannot do it. You
That
cannot
doesn't-
do
you
it.
didn't make your case. And
Listen,
yet,
I'll tell you
and
what.
yet they're
Because then
there.
when you follow them, because I'm a filmmaker and, I
yet-
go and I follow this
yet
stuff,
the- and
they're
yet-
all.
and
There's
yet they're
20
in your
cars on the
supermarket.
lawn. There's 20 cars on the lawn.
Excuse me, you just told us that nobody can afford to live there unless you have money. You're seeing people in your market that are there.
With an EBT card.
How do you
what
know
don't you
that,
understand?
That doesn't tell me they're illegal. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm just going to go
I
on the
just wanna-
basis
I just want to
that
know
they
what
are
law.
illegal.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
What law should we citizens be allowed to break in mass and get a free pass from government? Because I'll just not pay my
ever
taxes.
speed?
No, I pay the tickets.
Only if you get caught.
What
You ever
about?
volunteer
to do it? Now, back to
wait,
that.
Wait,
Do the
Jeannie, I
cops
want to go back
say-
to Jeannie. I want to go back to Jeannie. Let me go back to Jeannie for 1 second.
I'm still at IGA.
Okay, you're still at IGA, so am I. So she's got the EBT card. All right. Now, how did she
Not
get
me,
that?
but-
How did she get that EBT card? Let's assume she's illegal. Okay. Let's not pretend that this isn't happening.
I'm not going to pretend
Okay.
she is. I don't
She
make
has
those
the
assumptions.
EBT card and
This is
she's
America.
swiping it. How did she get that EBT card?
Well, she shouldn't have gotten it.
No, but she did, and millions
No,
of people do.
the
How
fact-
did she get
the
it?
fact
My
is-
boy Andrew right here
the
told you how she
fact
got it.
is-
Because a
The
kid
census
got
does
it.
not
The fact-
differentiate
the
between
fact
legal
is-
and
the
illegal.
fact
And when they
is-
allocate money
the
for
fact
food
is-
stamps,
no,
it goes on population, not on
no,
status.
Yes, it does.
own- the
It's the
ver-
same
I
reason
will-
why a Muslim can have
I
4
will-
wives in his house
I
and get
will-
EBT
I
cards
will
for
tell you
everybody.
this,
You're making
there
a
is
terrible argument.
you are
No, I'm
making-
not.
there
That
is
would be a
burden
presumption
on-
she's
more
legal.
of a burden on the state governments and the local governments than the federal government when it comes to illegals in terms, because they are not getting Medicare, they are not getting Medicaid, they are not getting
They're showing
welfare.
up at
They are-
hospitals.
Thank you.
They go to the hospital. Who pays for that?
We do.
You want to
We
know
do.
why a
You know
Tylenol
why?
is $25?
Do you know
We
why?
do.
You know why? Because Ronald Reagan passed the
Oh,
law.
God, here we go.
Bless his
You just
heart.
say that
That's
to
what
Ronald
happened.
Reagan.
Was that law passed for?
Well, you
for
know what?
Let me
For
throw
the
that
benefit of
Americans?
watchers, Ronald
Wait,
Reagan, whether you
was
like
that
it
for
or not,
He gave
amnesty. I'm pissed.
He passed. That's what I'm talking about. He passed the
Since
law.
it was only was for 3
Excuse me.
million.
Now it's my turn. He passed a law that no American, no anybody who comes to an emergency room can be sent away until they are stabilized.
All right, we're talking about.
Thank
I know that
Here,
fact
let me give
troubles
you my
again.
solution. Let me give you my solution, and you just give me a yes or no, because we are running out of time. We have a minute 30. Okay, here's the solution. What you do is you hold the employers accountable who hire these people.
I agree.
You fine them, and then you prosecute them if they continue. When you do that, and you cut off the magnet for jobs, many of these people are going to do a thing called self-deport. Remember that guy named Mitt Romney?
That's actually right.
The rest of them, you start
Why aren't
deporting
the
them. You
Republicans
deport
doing
them,
that?
and you send the message to the world that the party is over.
Why aren't-
And people
why-
won't come
why
anymore, and I
aren't they
can get
doing
my
it?
schools back,
You're
I get my
absolutely
hospitals
right
back.
about that.
We can order it back, baby.
Why aren't employers doing that? Because they have
Why?
such
Because
a
they can
good
cheat the
deal.
system, because
Why
nobody
isn't-
is
why
taking-
The
isn't-
welfare state lets people not do
Why
those jobs.
isn't your Republican Congress making it so that those people have to be?
My Republican
because their
Congress is
friends
filled with
who
rhinos.
Give them money.
This is why Donald Trump is up here,
Yeah, like he's gonna
and
do
everybody
something.
else is down here, because he said he's going to get order back.
Oh, what about all those illegals who work for him? You going to question
Oh,
that too?
come on.
And you know
What
what?
do you mean, oh,
You know
come
what?
on?
You
Your
cannot
answer to
say-
any
It's
fact
not-
that doesn't
it's
work
not-
for you is, oh, come on.
No, it's not.
Yes,
It didn't.
it
They
is.
didn't work for
And you
Donald
know
Trump.
what?
They worked
No,
for the
I'm sorry.
contractors who he
And you know
hired.
Where'd the
what?
money come
you
from?
cannot separate parents from their children. That is
the
not
children can go
American
with
and is
them.
not. You're going to throw children
We're not-
born here and
No, they're
legal
going home.
citizens.
If they care
And they
so
are
much about, hold on,
citizens
if
of
they
the-
care
Wait,
so
we're out of
much
time.
about
We're out
their
of
own
time. We're out of
kids,
time. We're out of
they're
time. We're out of
done
time.
to them.
I'm nice to
When
children.
we
I
come
don't know
back,
about you folks.
it's your time to ask the expert. We let you actually ask experts, all right? Not that I would allow any Democrat to ever answer.
there
Hey,
never
listen,
an
I got a
expert?
new desk. It looks like a coffin. I want you to sign it.
Sign right on the table.
Yeah, sign right on the table.
Oh, this is fun.
We'll be back.
Okay.
Don't you go away. It gets better.